Hello, welcome back to the Chelsea debate. Something a bit different today. We are going to do an England squad reaction. We're going to do loads of England content throughout the summer because we may as well. Chelsea aren't playing, but don't worry, we've got loads of Chelsea content coming out tomorrow. We've got a video, for instance, so keep an eye out for that. I was going to run you through the squad, Josh, and then we'll sort of talk about the main points. So, goalkeepers to be expected: Henderson, Johnston, Pickford. 10 defenders: Alexander-Arnold, Chilwell, Cody, James, Maguire, Mings, Shaw, Stones, Trippier and Walker. In the midfield, Bellingham, Henderson, Mount, Phillips, Rice. And then the forwards are Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Grealish, Kane, Rashford, Saka, Sancho, Sterling. So if we start with the goalkeepers, nothing major shocks there. We've got Henderson, Johnston, Pickford, and it was Ramsdale to be admitted. Nothing shocking there, was there?
No shocks there, is there, with Pope's injury as well. So I think that's given Sam Johnston a good look, and he obviously gets to go.
Yeah, I think the main point of this video we want to talk about is the defence, because 10 defenders are going. Obviously, a couple of our boys are in there, Reece James and Ben Chilwell. First of all, 10 defenders, a lot of angry people. Are you one of those?
Well, no, I wouldn't say I'm angry, but I just feel with the squad that he selected, in particular the defence, I feel like he's backed himself into a corner a little bit, because now he's took some gambles, and if they don't pay off, this is probably the best pool of England players that certainly in our lifetime that you've been able to pick from. So to not have a good tournament now, I think it would be the end for him. And, so we're not going to talk about that at this stage. Hopefully it'll go well. As you just said, thrilled Ben Chilwell and Reece James are in there. I did worry, perhaps more so for Reece James, just with obviously much has been made of the four right-back situation. So I was surprised to see all four of them go. But I think, particularly with the likes of Connor Cody going, for me it screams we're going to be playing a back five. Hence the 10 defenders. Cody as well, Wolves fans openly sort of say he's not great in a back four. So, I don't know, maybe you look at the defenders and you're thinking, actually, he sort of showed his hand a little bit to all the other teams, hasn't he?
Yeah, 1,000% he's playing a back five. Talk about Reece James, for us, I'm not sure where he's going to play. We've seen him, he can play right centre-back. We can see he plays wing-back. For me, that actually, I think, does those two a favour, James and Chilwell, that they're more likely to play the wing.
Yeah, because
for instance, you could put Kyle Walker in there. Irrespective of what I think, and I would have played a back four. He's clearly playing a back five, because you don't put that many options in there. Four right backs is ludicrous, to be honest. But he says it's for footballing reasons. He wants his best footballers in there. But there you go. Before we move on to the midfield, let me press you then. I mean, you've got 10 options there. Give me your back five, just because I think, well, we all think that's how he's gonna go. What would you do with those options?
Well, I've got to say, I'm with you. I'd be playing a back four, but obviously it's not down to us. So my back five would be Reece James as the wing back.
Yeah.
I'd then have Kyle Walker as the right centre back. I think you need his pace. Then at the middle of it, I'd probably go Stones, Maguire left centre back, and then Chilwell. But yeah, I've got a feeling a lot of people would probably say Luke Shaw will be in there over Chilwell.
I would have said that in the back four, but I think maybe left wing back lends itself more to Chilwell. And of course, after the Champions League final that he played for us, I think both of them got a good shout, and I could see both of them starting. So fingers crossed for us that they are. If we move on to the midfield, there's only listed 5 midfielders there, and one of the excuses is that, Trent can play midfield. He can't play midfield. He did that as a kid. Maybe further down the line he can, but not in a major tournament. And if any of those defenders play midfield, it's Reece James for me, because he's actually played there recently.
Exactly.
So that's just the way I see it. But the midfielders: Bellingham, Henderson, Mount and Phillips. The guys that were omitted: Ward, Prowse and Lingard, even though he can play a bit further forward. Sorry, I forgot to mention Godfrey and White didn't make the defence, but there's that. So with the midfield there, is there enough in there? And if he's playing 5 at the back, I expect there's going to be just 2 of them starting. And maybe
I think
forward. How do you see it?
I think you've got question marks. Obviously, Jordan Henderson's been out long-term injured.
Yeah.
I have always said, I've got to be honest, I would have took him for his expertise in terms of leadership, not just on the pitch, what he'd bring to the overall camp. So I would have took him, but it's a worry. Obviously, Jude Bellingham can play, sort of as a number 8. Rice and Calvin Phillips, both defensive. You'd say Rice will start, but then Calvin Phillips has had a fair few minutes in an England shirt. Mount's the one for me that's the concern. Because if we're playing a back 5, we've seen as Chelsea fans Mason Mount play a bit further forward, and he's been brilliant there. So to see him listed as a midfielder, depending on what exactly he's got planned and how he's going to set the team, that's the worry for me. I know he can do it, and we've spoke about that before, but I just hope we don't lose his sort of best attributes and what's made him such a great player this season, all for the sake of trying to accommodate some of the names that are in the forwards lineup, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it that he's going to play 2 sitting there, Rice and Henderson if fit. If not, I think Calvin Phillips will start, and he's a good player. Mason Mount will start for England. I'm 95% sure, just because of the amount of games he plays. How player we see it every week. Even though he's listed as a midfielder, I still think he could start further forward if he was going to go 5-2-3. It's just he's down as a midfielder, because otherwise you could literally see 4 midfielders listed on there. But
yeah,
interesting. Well, I'll push you for 11, sort of near the end, the further forward. Do you think Ward-Prowse is a bit unlucky to miss out? I've seen a lot of people wanted him in there.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I didn't really want him in there myself. I know there's lots of talk about him being good on a dead ball situation, but look through the squad, we've got people who can take free kicks well. So he is unlucky, mainly because, again, he's played a lot of minutes for England in recent times. So he's unlucky, but I can't say I'm sad to see him not in there.
Yeah, and then further forward, I think when you said earlier about the best of our generation, you mean attackers. We can't, the golden era in terms of our midfield and defence, but the attack is remarkable, isn't it? And that's without Greenwood, who pulled out injured this morning, and without Watkins as well, Lingard, who we sort of mentioned as well. What do you think? Would Greenwood have gone instead of Saka if he was fit? Because Saka's got in there, which I'm quite happy about myself, but what do you think?
No, I'm happy Saka's in there. He's had a good season at Arsenal. And it obviously also brings versatility, which when you look at other areas there where we're perhaps not as well covered, I think he'll definitely be able to help with that. So Chuffed is in there, but I do think if Greenwood would have been with Saka, would have took Greenwood over Saka.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I think the connection went a bit then. I'll see on the video. It should be fine though. All that talent then, who are you going to start in that midfield and attack? If I push you for a name, well, a few names there. Have you got it in front of you, or the options?
Yeah. Assuming everybody's fit, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got that 5 at the back. Who are the 5 in front, effectively?
Okay. Yeah, it is tough because I love Jude Bellingham, but I think you have got to go as the midfield 2 if that's definitely how he's going to play it. You've got to go Henderson and Rice, I think. Obviously, you've got Bellingham to come in off the bench. So, that's what I'd go with. Then as the front 3, obviously you've got Kane in the middle, because that's just, there's no point trying to argue otherwise.
Yeah.
And then I'd go Sancho on the right, and then I would go Mount on the left. Again, I realise everyone's going to talk about Phil Foden, Rashford, Sterling, but that would be what I'll go with.
Yeah, I mean, he's, like you said, he's backed himself into a corner. I think I agree if we're forced to play that. But I'm looking at this squad and I'm really downbeat because I was really excited about the tournament in terms of every good lineup that I've seen is a 4-2-3-1. And if that many people, that many pundits, that many just, general fans are seeing it, why can't Gareth see it? It's defensive. And if you're missing out, I mean, you've named Mount, Sancho, Kane there, which I'm happy with. You're losing a Foden or a Grealish or a Rashford, a Sterling. And that's where our talent is. It's a really negative. Can he pull a surprise and name 4 at the back? I don't think he will, looking at that squad. So we'll wrap up in a minute, but what's your overall sort of emotion on that? Because I've sort of given mine there. I'm not very happy with it.
No, I would agree. We always try and stay positive on here, and I really wish I could be, but I do agree. I think, it's bad. Obviously, there's players that, they're probably not going to get to play now with the way he's clearly setting it up. And then B, as I said earlier, you've sort of shown your hand to the other teams, haven't you? So they can start working on, thinking of a game plan to sort of negate our threats, if you like. So it is just a shame. I'd have been, like you just said yourself, I'd have been happy with a different formation. I think we've just got to trust in Southgate, haven't we? I think, he works with the players more. Hopefully he knows something we don't, and we have a good tournament, because I do think this was a real opportunity for us to go one step further and, the final, or maybe win it. And just as importantly, for the likes of a Jude Bellingham, it's a great opportunity to get that big tournament experience going into the World Cup for next year.
Yeah.
So hopefully, the younger players we've got can still do that.
I think you're right. What I will say is we stay positive on Chelsea, but during the summer we'll do a few of these England videos if they go down well, and we don't have to hold back. We can be a bit more vocal in terms of our opinion on England. So we'll wrap it up there. I just want to say well done to the three Chelsea boys. Thoroughly deserved, isn't it? Like the three of them, and they're just going to get that camp, aren't they? Absolutely buzzing after the Champions League, because if people didn't know, we won the Champions League last week.
Did we? Say it again.
We won the Champions League last week. So if you like the idea of more England content, please just drop a comment down below, and please like and subscribe if you're new. But we'll wrap it up there. Follow us on Twitter if you're new, at Chelsea_debate, and on our Instagram, _Chelsea_debate. And we've got some really exciting Chelsea videos coming up as well. So keep an eye out for that. See you later, guys.